Here we are again.
Second time's a charm, right?
Second time's a charm, dude. It's good to finally catch you in the flesh.
Yes.
We had an awesome event last night.
Yeah.
VDAO was great. As usual, been chasing you around the world. Glad to finally get you in at actually one of the events in the flesh.
Yeah.
Last night was, what was the name of the cafe there?
0 Hour Cafe. We had our Regenerative Network States social.
Yeah.
It's like a third one that we've done. I think the first one was, gosh, what was the first one? Singapore?
Yep.
Second one was in Bangalore.
Bangkok. Oh, Bangalore.
Bangalore.
Right.
And then, East Denver.
Bangkok.
Well, Bangkok was the villa, I think.
That was the villa. Right. So that's from the cafe. Either way, you guys keep bringing them out.
Yes.
It's been pretty awesome.
Wow, we've got a great community and
That's right.
amazing contributors
Yeah.
like yourself.
All right. How was the turnout last night? You guys feel good about that?
Yeah, it was really good. I think we had like the ideal amount of people that were there, and like the ideal types of people that were there. All of these people were very interested in network states, regeneration, DPIN, like all the things that VDAO is really heavily focused in and wanting to lean into even more so. All those kinds of people were the ones that showed up. So great conversations all around.
And now we're here hanging out, East Denver, at the Crazy Stockyard place. Denver's always popping with this stuff here. What's the regen vibe? What are you feeling here? Obviously, this is the year of the regen. There's a lot of this stuff stirring around. Like, what do you feel is happening here in these connecting points between the decentralized and the regenerative?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, obviously, there's been lots of stuff happening on Twitter, X. I've just kind of been reading it here and there. Personally, I've been super focused on the things with VDAO. So we've been soft launching our VPass.
Oh, right. VPass,
which is your all-in-one access to the VDAO community ecosystem that we're growing and building. So that's been like my main focus in like the event that would happen last night. So like I've been having tunnel vision, to be honest.
Right.
So this being my first time at East Denver, I don't know what to expect, right? So I kind of came here with an open mind, unaware of like how it had been in previous events. I know it's called the Year of the Regenerates. It's been a bit of a hot topic as of late. To be honest, I haven't seen a whole lot of regenerative products or projects outside of our own.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I guess.
We'll see. It's kind of like a thing in the ether right now. People are talking about it. I was just in CES in Vegas, and there was a lot of talk about it, but also not a lot of products yet. So we might be at this kind of emergent point where it's starting to flow a little bit more.
I think we're starting to see like even more and more momentum, and we're starting to see the passion really coming out.
Right.
I actually just spoke with somebody by the name of Paul from Regen Network.
Yeah.
I had a great conversation with him. He told me that like they've been putting in a lot of work. And after having done so, they were given 2 hours of stage time in here every single day from here on out until the end of the conference, which is amazing.
Huge.
I love it. So, I mean, if we continue to have these conversations, open up people to the idea of like regenerative actions and regenerative principles, regenerative living, regenerative network states, I think we're all going to be in a better situation next year and moving forward.
Yeah, definitely. The interest is shifting, I'm feeling. Like I'm having conversations with groups that are coming even from the coin token game, the crypto game, casino style with all the shit coins and the fun stuff. But when you cut to the chase, you start to hear these rumblings where people are like, yeah, it's fun. We want to make a change. We want to create products that are actually providing human solutions. So there's definitely this undercurrent that's starting to kind of rise up. The cream is rising to the top. People are starting to take a lot of the fun stuff that's been played with, microeconomies, token economies, and say like, how do we actually apply this to real life? You know?
Yeah, exactly. So like something I've been talking about recently, you might see it on my X post every once in a while. I talk about something I call RFV, real
Okay.
fucking valley.
Yeah,
Right?
nice.
Where is that? Like we need to start having that out there and putting that
That's
out
right.
into space even more so.
Yeah,
If we want to see like greater mass adoption and people taking the space more seriously,
Yeah.
we need to have that RFE. We need to connect the dots, right? Connect the
Mm.
atoms with the bits.
so you got to have the RFB and the MVP,
There you go.
right? Actually,
Exactly.
have like what's the impact point in that product you're creating, right? And how's it going to
Yeah.
change the world?
Yeah, exactly. How is it actually going to be? I know it's like a no word sometimes for folks, but how's it going to be impactful? Like
Right.
how what impact will it actually have?
yeah,
Right? What real world use cases does it have? How can what we're doing make us more sustainable in terms of like generating a revenue, being profitable? Profit's not a bad thing.
right.
I don't think that's for some folks maybe it's a bad word, but I don't see it as such. I
Yeah.
think if it's used correctly and directed in the right way, it can be that flywheel effect for the regen space.
That's right. And you've got to be, in the tangible sense, you got to be cash flow positive for something to survive, right? For it
Right.
to sustain.
Exactly.
And we saw a lot in the intentional communities, people that were brought together by passion, intention, love. But you need a mechanism. You need to have the
Yeah.
operational side of things, like things have to work, right? Dude, it was fun because in Bangkok, talking about VPass getting ready to launch. So give us a little bit more background, kind of the intro to VPass, just kind of like what's some functionality? What are you guys putting out there now that it's kind of rubber's hitting the road?
Yeah, so like I said before, we're kind of doing a soft launch here at East Denver, getting a lot of feedback that's been really helpful about the user experience of it and like how the minting process works. We've been just doing with this like QR code, you scan it, you basically input your email, and you're a part of the DAO,
Nice.
right? It's like your access point into the DAO, into the community. It's that central connection point for you. And then from there, you can gain access to the Discord. You can gain access to our community portal. You can find us on X, all these different things. You can mint a Builder Buddy NFT, which is like an avatar in each one. There's 4 animals.
Okay.
So they're like
Nice.
ecosystem builders. There's the bee, which is like the community collaborator, cross-pollinator individuals that's always staying busy. There is a beaver, which is obviously the builder, the designer. Like it's, very fitting. There is the owl. It's like the wise, brings all that experience and has some long-term vision, and it brings that leadership aspect in. And there's a starfish, which is pretty cute, actually, in terms of the characters go. That is like embodies like the regenerative spirit. Like it
Right.
has no central brain. It's super decentralized in that aspect. You cut off an arm, it regrows.
Nice.
So it's like anti-fragile, it's resilient,
Yeah.
it's decentralized. It's like the embodiment of a true regen.
Right. Which one are you?
B. I am
B.
the B.
All right.
Wholeheartedly the B. I am the community person. I love people. I love getting out there and being among all these people and hanging out. It's like, again, my first Youth Denver, and I love the experience so far. Meeting all kinds of amazing folks.
Yeah, and I can definitely attest being in your calls all the time. You're holding it down there, managing the calls, keeping the action moving, and calls always have super interesting folks on there. So I
Yeah.
appreciate you kind of like leading that charge on the community aspect. It's a big part of it, and a lot of people are focused on building community, but really that relationship, right?
Yeah.
And the communities even interlinking across each other is where I think we start to see like major resilience.
Yeah.
What are some communities, or how do you see some cross-community integration that VDAO is kind of exploring to even like spread beyond the VDAO space? You're here, you got Unicorn over there, you've got kind of these other parties that are all collaborating? Like, what's happening there with that collaborative effort?
Yeah, so like collaborating with Unicorn to bring about VPass and bring that into reality. That's been a great experience in collaborating with them. We've been supporting local communities on the ground that are doing regenerative work. Was it in January? We supported an event at Vida Verde, which is in Venezuela. They did a biofilter workshop. About 35 to 40 people that were local to the community came in, learned all about biofilters, and then went out there and actually built a biofilter. Like, actually went out there, got their hands dirty, and did that. And so, like, that's a perfect example of like what VPass could be useful for. Is we could give you a credential for doing that. So you've done this experience, you've gone through this workshop, you've gained some knowledge, and then now you can be earning that credential that you can take with you on chain, and that could serve as like your on chain identity within the community and start building up that reputation.
Awesome. Yeah, Latin America is getting real active. It's very interesting.
Speaking of Latin America, actually today on the 27th, we're having an event or supporting an event down in Cordoba in Argentina.
That's right.
One of our contributors, Eric, amazing individual.
Yep, I know Eric.
Brilliant mind, is really putting on this big thing down there in partnership with another project.
Yeah, those are all good folks. They're building good stuff. They're excited to be supporting, engaging in there for sure. You know, there are a lot of people entering the space, a lot of young people, passionate, really vision oriented. I have a lot of people when I'm on panels coming out saying like, how do I do something? Like, what am I, you know, they really have this passion, a lot of them have skill sets. What is some message that you want to share with folks that are entering or in the space working? What's something you want to kind of leave with them just to kind of wrap it up and say like, this is something to kind of hold on to, your little words of wisdom to share with the folks?
Don't be afraid to dive in and explore. Like, there's a lot of value to be had by being connected through these different systems. I mean, there's some really interesting potential with resource allocation within DAOs that like should definitely be explored by everybody. I've got 4 kids of my own, so when it comes to the younger generation, I wholeheartedly believe that this is something that they should be heavily involved in.
Yeah.
They're going to be the ones that end up shaping what the future of this stuff looks like. We're just setting it up, putting in some of the infrastructure. They're going to be the ones that determine what the outcome is of all that.
That's right.
So I'm excited for them. I want to see what they all come out and build.
Right. Get them excited. Just dive in. I mean, groups like VDAO, a lot of other communities that are out here are so welcoming. It's amazing how people can show up.
Yeah.
We're really trying to reach normies, people that are not used, not crypto native. They're trying to figure out how to engage. And it's great to have groups like yours that are just so warm and open and crossing the regenerative decentralized gap.
Yeah.
So that there's a pathway for people to engage there. Great stuff, man. What are a couple quick drops? What's the best ways to get connection, website, things like that? Your own stuff to follow. What's a couple ones to follow?
Yeah, you can follow us on X at JoinVDAO. You could probably find us on YouTube at JoinVDAO.
Yep.
You can get connected with us on Discord. You can find the link to that in our bio on X. And just stay connected. Our website is VDAO.io.
Yeah, VDAO.io. I hang out there sometimes,
It's a great little community portal. You can learn a lot about us. We take our meeting minutes on there. It's visible for everybody. We're big believers in building in the public space. So.
And then your X, what's the best way to follow you? Or
what is it? Ben.Berkham, I think.
Yeah.
I actually don't even pay attention to my own.
We'll tag it in the description, so make sure you check the description there. We'll tag you in there and stuff. Man, I appreciate the time we've been able to hang out and chat.
Absolutely.
Keep pushing forward, keep building.
Yeah.
Keep following you around.
I'm glad to have had the opportunity to come face to face with you. This has been epic.
It's been cool, man. Thanks.
All right.
Keep it going.
Cheers.